All right. So, today we're going to take a look at some amazing games, courtesy of Gaurdian Games Studio. So I want to thank Spencer and the team for sending these over my way. These are some amazing games. We're going to take a look at 3 Game Boy games, 1 on Game Boy Color, 2 on original Game Boy. These are prototype cartridges. They are not in production yet, but he was kind enough to send them over to check them out. I'm going to be playing what I can on the Super Game Boy 2 and in the Game Boy Color. So the first one here being Jab This. This is a pretty cool Game Boy game. And I will get more into this. Well, yeah, I'll get more into this here when we show gameplay. And then we got an amazing game here. This is Nathan and Luke, Badasses at Law with Ethan. I think it says, yeah, oh, sorry, and Ethan. A great game here as well, on the original Game Boy. And then you got the Game Boy Color game. Now, I have covered this in the past, but this is a prototype cartridge, and that is Winsley's Guardian on Game Boy Color. A beautiful cartridge. I love the way this looks. And this isn't going to be complete in box. In fact, I believe these are going to be complete in box eventually. Now, these games are also being released not only on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, but also on the N64. Yes, the N64. These games are coming to Nintendo 64. Now, the cool thing about that is they're coming to physical cartridges on the N64, and because of the expanded memory of the N64 and N64 cartridge, these games, where they're able to, are going to have additional content that's not available on these handheld platforms. So there's incentive to get both versions, or if you want the full experience or the expanded experience, you can get them on just 64 if that's your cup of tea. So we're going to take a look at these games here and check out some gameplay and let's talk about them.
We've got Winsley's Guardian on a physical Game Boy Color cartridge, courtesy of the publisher and developer. I want to thank them very much for sending this my way. Now, this version of the game unfortunately has an issue with its battery, so it's gonna be redone. Let's go ahead and pop in here in my Game Boy Color and see how it plays here. Oh, hey, come on! I fixed the color. Hang on, there it is. And one more. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I gotta do it again. There we go. And this is the same game I've covered before, but on physical cartridge. And it plays just as good. Looks just as good, plays just as good. The only issue is, again, it's saved battery. There's an issue with it. Apparently, the wrong battery was used in the cartridge, so it doesn't save properly. So this game, I'm assuming either can save and won't load, or can save and nothing really happens. So yeah, same awesome game that I've covered before, looking great on physical cartridge. Alright, so here's the next game. This is Nathan and Luke, Badasses at Law, and Ethan on the Game Boy. I'm going to pop it in here. Now, this is a prototype cartridge, from what I understand. Again, another game from Gaurdian Games Studio. So here we get to pick Nathan or Luke. Oh, and pick Nathan. I love the the little intro there. So in this game, you play as Ethan and Luke, lawyers. Sorry, Nathan and Luke and Ethan, they're lawyers. And essentially, this is a run and gun. I guess actually it's not really a run and gun. It's more like a action platformer. So you have your weapon is spitting out facts. And you have to defend yourself against lies and these characters here. And it's just a fun, really interactive and fun little game here. The only issue I have with this game thus far, in my playthrough of this game, it has been the length of the levels. I feel are a little too long. But other than that, this game's pretty cool, pretty fun. I like how high you can jump. You can jump pretty high. There's no noticeable difference that I'm aware of between the characters. At least not between Luke and Nathan. I initially thought Luke can jump higher, but he can jump just as high as Nathan can, or Nathan can jump just as high as Luke can. But this game's really fun. It's a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be. And that it's just I mean, I got to the first stage going, this is all right. And then I got to the second stage and went on from there, and it was like, this game's awesome. You know, I mean, this first level here feels like there isn't a lot going on. Like, there's not much in the background aside from like a sunset, hillside type deal going on there. But as you progress the game, it just gets better and better and better. And that's what you want in a game like this. Oh, I misjudged that jump. And as far as I can tell, you have infinite lives. I have not run into a scenario where I've hit a game over screen, which is nice. And I like the fact there's like hidden checkpoints, like you just saw there. I was started at the very beginning. I started in the next section that I came to, which again is a very welcome thing. I'm glad that that's the case. I'm glad I haven't started the stage over again from the start, especially as long as the stage is. So I guess, in a sense, I'm glad that with as long as the stages are, there are checkpoints, and that might actually be part of the reason why there are checkpoints. Is so that it can have sections that act as checkpoints as opposed to having to start a shorter level over again. So I guess I can forgive the length of the levels for that purpose, for that reason. And that may in fact be why that's the case. At least that's what I believe. Roll guard grants iframes when using the roll skill. So roll. I rolled right into the pit. All right, so I'm going to look at a wonderful action platform. Let's go and take a look at the next game that I've got here to have a look at. Okay, so the last game that we have, courtesy of Guardian Galaxy Games, is Jab This. This is a pre-production cartridge. Again, this is my understanding. So this is not finalized as far as I'm concerned. Not in full production. Now, one thing I will say about Jab This, and this is what I was, well, I'm going to just start up. I'll show you guys. I'll talk about it as I play it here. This is a game for the Game Boy. Alright, the world has been forced to take experimental drugs, and the only thing they cure is evil politicians and drug manufacturers' thirst for money and power. It's your job, Dr. Paul Brand, to stop them by turning their own drugs against them, and in the end, defeat the evil Dr. Falsey. Show no mercy. Now, this is not it's not an anti-vaccine game. This has been described to me as being an anti-pharma, anti-government game by the developer. So basically, please don't come at me in the comments saying that it's anti-vaccine, anti-this, anti-that. This is a run-and-gun platforming game that plays extremely well, and it has some questionable, well, I'm not going to say questionable, some disputed elements about it. I'll say that much. And that's really it. I mean, this game, aside from its premise, the gameplay itself is amazing. I love how he looks like a big giant Rambo or like Contra style game or Contra style guy, fighting against evil pharma. It's a pretty cool little game here, and one I've definitely been enjoying. So if you're not a fan of, if you're not a fan of the premise of the game, maybe you want to stay clear of this one. But if you're like me and that kind of thing doesn't really matter to you, and you just want a really fun game to play, Jab This is going to be a great experience for you. To me, I mean, what I'll say is that I really don't have a preference one way or the other. If you're for vaccines, great. If you're against them, great. Do I think that our systems messed up? Sure, in some aspects, and that's as much as I'm gonna say on that. But this game is just a ton of fun to play. It really is. And now I've gone ahead and screwed myself up because now I can't get past this this little guy here. And oh, okay, fine. I'll just get hit. Oh. You fail at life. Rest or continue. So they level over again. So one thing to keep in mind, you have limited ammunition. And so sometimes you're going to want to avoid the enemy as opposed to try to kill all of them. But yeah, this is a really fun little game, guys. Jab This is a really cool experience. I love the way that it looks and the way that it plays. It's just kind of cool. And the music's great. I love the music in this game. Again, I'm not wanting to care about the premise of the game. I care about the gameplay and how well it plays, how well it looks. And it looks and plays amazingly well. So, pretty cool game for sure.
Okay, now this game here, this game is a really cool game. So this is one of the games that was sent to me courtesy of Spencer with the other 3 games here. This is in ROM form only at the moment, but this is a really cool game because this game is a interactive way to go through his book, Spencer's book. Book and game of the same name, which is Soren Rising: The 5 Clans of Trisibra. Amazing book, by the way. This is an interactive version of the book, and it's a beautifully done game. Lots of lore, lots of backstory, and it's just an amazing game. If you haven't picked up the books, pick up the books. Are great books. Now, this is being played on Super Game Boy, as you can tell here. Now, the funny thing about this is this is not designed to run on a Super Game Boy or a Game Boy at all. Now, you can tell that it's kind of struggling a bit with its palettes, but it is running just fine through my EverDrive, albeit with palette issues. But I thought it was kind of cool that it actually plays in Super Game Boy 2, even though it says it's designed for Game Boy Color. That's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and actually see this game in actual color on a Game Boy Color.
Okay, so this is what the 5 clans of Trisibra, Soren Rising should look like running on an actual Game Boy Color. Nope, that's way too loud. I'm going to turn that down. So it follows the adventures of Soren,
It's going to go ahead and give you a little backstory. As Gamosis, the false king, seems to dominate the land of Recibra, the clans unite to protect the peach trees and their way of life. Among the noble clans, Soren Walters, born into a troubled family, rises as a compassionate and inventive young man. Despite a harsh upbringing, Soren's resilience and dedication to protecting the weak shape him into a revered warrior. His journey from a sickly child to a powerful defender of his people forms the heart, whose story we now follow. Okay. Soren, the time for your training has begun. The blood of the Walters flows through your veins. This will either be your strength or your undoing. As a Nova warrior, the 12 laws will be your guiding light. When do we begin? Now, as a Nova, you first need to condition your mind, body, and heart before you wield the spears of the warrior. Go retrieve an egg from the nest of a Regal as your first task. The Regal are draconic in nature, yet they're harmless to a skilled warrior. Without a weapon, that's a death sentence. Fear is the first obstacle you need to overcome. Now go, and do not return until you've completed your task. Alright, so here we go. So here's the map. Here's what it's supposed to look like. And this game is a wonderful Mega Man style run and gun platforming game with puzzle elements that just runs beautifully on the Game Boy Color. Okay, I have to go down here first if memory serves. Now again, this game is currently in development. It is not done. I can't let you pass. It's dangerous beyond this point. Maybe you feed at least 4 Regul, and I might let you pass. Oh, that's great. Okay, so let's come down here. Okay, nope, not here yet. I did the weapon first, which is over here. There we go. Oh, come on. Now, I don't... it doesn't... Guess what I will tell you is there's a slight delay, believe it or not, between what I'm seeing through the camera versus what's going on in the Game Boy Color. So that's kind of an issue, especially with a game like this. It's ever so slight, but it's there. And I can't go that way either yet because I don't have what I need either. Okay. There was another way to go. Wait, contact this person. No. Wait. Nope. Can't talk to him. Maybe it's here? Yeah, it's here. Continue. As you can see, there's no music in the game, and there's a few sound effects. There we go. Okay, so now I gotta... grab the egg. Again, I'm not playing this very well because there's a slight delay. Unfortunately. Oh, come on. Oh. There we go. Yep, so there's a delay there. I have to go this way. If I had to go back the same way I came, I don't think I do. I still have the egg left. I'm going to talk to this guy back here. Okay, so I got the eggs. Now I'm going to go rescue this guy. I like how the game subtly gives you hints on what to do. So please leave me alone. Boys, this will teach you a lesson. Let's see you get down from there. Ha 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 ha. Anyone, please help me. These boys must be stopped. I don't have a weapon, but maybe bonking their heads will suffice. But yeah, I like how the world map gives you subtle hints as to what to do. Stupid boar. There we go. Okay. Alright. Well, that was a look at the amazing game that is Soarin' Rising on Game Boy Color. Let's go ahead and wrap this up here. Okay. So that was a look at these 3 amazing games on Game Boy Game Boy Color. I want to thank Spencer and his team for sending me these cartridges. They're amazing. I can't wait for the final release. If you want to back these games as well as their N64 counterparts, as well as a few other games I have yet to mention in this coverage, head over to the Kickstarter link. I've linked in the description down below. You can back these cartridges, these games, as well as all the other in the Kickstarter. There's a bunch of them. There's like 4 or 5 that are being that are at one Kickstarter. So amazing, huge Kickstarter. They've got I'd made maybe 1/6 of their goal. They're looking for 15,000. I think we got just over 3 with about a month and a half or so to go. So I'm hoping they meet their goal. These are amazing games. Pick them up. Back the Kickstarter. They're amazing games to have in any retro collection. I do believe these are available digitally. And if they are, of course, I'll leave this link in the description if you want to get those as well. But these games are awesome. Again, Spencer, thank you for sending these cartridges. These are amazing. And I hope they get funded. They're great games. And well, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As always, until next time, take care and happy gaming.